and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, all of which I do from my home outside of Lima, Ohio. Sorry, I had to sing it. I don't know why. Anyways, this is April. Boy, I'm skipping ahead. This is March 10th, 2021, and this is episode 242. Now, I can be found as Naturally Kim's Knitting on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, WordPress. Boy, you would think I'd have this smoother by this time. Ravelry, my page is NapiersKnits, and our podcast group page is Naturally Kim's Knitting. Now, you may wonder why I joined the Ravelry page for the podcast, because that's where you can enter for prizes for all of your lovely things that you make throughout the time period. So, you should hop over there. You could get some prizes. I'm also on Instagram as knitting_Kim. I've been so tired lately, I've not really checked into Instagram lately, and I should, but I haven't. Okay, so since we're at the administrative portion of this podcast, this would be a good time to let you know I am affiliated with Amazon, Knit Picks, Annie's, the American Bible Association, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Mindwear, and Leisure Arts. I know that's a lot, isn't it? But I wanted to cover a variety of things that you guys might be interested in buying from. And so, by being affiliated, I have either a hyperlink, or I have an address over to the side of my blogs there. And you can either cut and paste or click, and it will take you right there. And then I can get a couple pennies for every order. So, it's kind of cool. And then I can use those to turn around and pay for postage or things that you guys might like, or the cash comes in handy for paying for patterns or things like that. So, Now, I think that's administrative stuff. There'll be more at the end where I tell you what's on sale at the different places. Boy, my camera is way up high. I'm afraid to touch it. It's been acting funny today. So let me tell you what's on my needles. Well, I've made some progress on some things that I've not touched others, and I started something new too. So this sock hasn't seen any knitting love this week. It is at the very same place it was last. I'm trying to hide my fingernails. My shoulder's been hurting me a lot. And when my shoulder, okay, I had it clear. And when my shoulder hurts, I bite my fingernails. My mom would be so sad about that, but it is what it is. However, on this one, I haven't counted how many. Wouldn't that be funny if I had enough? I'm on the 14th row of knit one, purl one ribbing at the top. I like to do 20 rounds, so this one will be done soon, depending on how much love I give to it this next week. I worked on this a lot yesterday, so that's why it's made so much progress. Then, sorry, I have a little ball of yarn here and I don't want it to roll off. So my husband came to the conclusion that I needed to make myself socks, because my socks, since I wear them all the time, they're a little bit worn out. So with some of the leftover yarn from either my Advent socks or from other socks I've made, I decided to make a scrap yarn sock, because I'm never for sure whether I should give scrap yarn socks to the soup kitchen or not. So I decided to have fun with a little pattern here. So it's alternating knit 2, purl 2, then the next row you do purl 2, knit 2. So, yeah! I haven't made it to the heel yet. But this one I have finished 3 colors. And this one, I'm on the 3rd color. I have just started it. So, yay! I just, I thought, okay, I'll do that. Oh, you may wonder what's hanging over my shoulder. Well, this is make sure I get the right side up. The right side of the Ruana that I'm making for someone special. And right there you can see the progress marker where I started last week. I finished the right side. I love it. I'm hoping the person I'm giving it to loves it too. She's a nice person. And then I started the left. I have to do, I think I've got 4 rows of ribbing done, alternating ribbing. I need to do 7 before I start the pattern. So this is exciting. Seeing how far I got last week on the other one, I can't wait to see how far I get on this one. Now, I've told you before, I like to, because I have arthritis in my feet, sorry, something fell down. I use a Pilates ball, or one of those big exercise balls, and I bounce on it, because walking with my rheumatoid arthritis feet would not, I might be able to do it one day, but then I'm going to be down for the next day or 2 days. So by bouncing, I can get the exercise in. However, I'm adding more because I'm not happy with my weight right now, and the doctor or the physical therapist did give me more exercises. So anyways, all that to say, I work on the Ruana when I'm bouncing. Now, you may remember the big project I've been working on, well, that's a big project, but my grandson's sweater. I have to work on this when I have good shoulder days, because the color work with the flipping of the yarn and everything, it makes my shoulder sore. Oh, why'd you turn that way? So, I'm working 2 sleeves at a time, which means I have 4 balls of yarn. This one, you really can't tell what it is right there yet, but that's a Stegosaurus. And that's on one sleeve. And this is a mastodon. Do you see the trunk over here? Oh, sorry, over here. Somewhere. So that's a mastodon. So these are going to be for him. He's not taking the time. I'm sure he hasn't taken the time to look at the podcast. He's a very busy 5-year-old. So, can't be wasting perfectly good playtime and watching Grandma on a podcast, and I don't take offense at it. Sorry. So that's everything that's on my needles. I haven't started another Advent sock yet. Might do that tonight, so I can have some more scrap yarn for my scrap yarn socks. Let's see. Oh! But let me show you what I finished. I skipped right over the knit-alongs. And nobody said anything to me. You guys know my format by now, don't you? Ah! Just kidding. I've told you guys many times, when I sit down to do a podcast, I feel like I'm having a one-sided conversation with you guys, which, if anybody who knows me knows, that I love to talk. So that probably would seem too unusual. So, but I do like to pretend that we are actually having a sit down, drinking a tea or something, and talk about our knitting. And if you have your knitting with you, it's a perfect time to get some work done on it. I got 2 Advent socks done last week. Like I said, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to weave all the ends in at the end. But there's one sock. Now, I do have a template that I'm using along with the pattern, but I have a template, so I make sure the foot and the cuff are pretty much the same. I started watching Heartland again on Netflix, and I was watching this episode, and I had finished the heel, or the sock, the foot, but then I kept knitting and knitting and knitting on the cuff. So this was a little bit longer. It's enough longer that, the last few rows of the ribbing does show above the template. But hey, that's okay. It's for me. So now to get back to what we were supposed to talk about first, knit-alongs. The March finished object knit-along up and running, and we have one or two posts in there already. Beautiful things. Always. You guys are so talented. Um, the finished object, just what it says. You finish an object, any craft. I don't care the craft. And when it comes to choosing numbers at the end, I don't, when I do it, I do random number generator. I see how many entries I have, take away number one because that was for, that's for the introduction and rules, random number generator. So if you do a woodworking thing and you put it in there, it counts. Do spinning, it counts. If you do cross stitch, it counts. Put them in there. If you have a pattern name, put it with it. And it goes in the March finished object thread. And I close it on April 1st, and I do random number generator. And I've decided it is just best right now in my life if I announce it on the podcast. Because anything else, this is going to sound really weird, and I'll talk about it a little bit. Too much effort right now. You guys are worth it, but I'll explain in a minute. Then, oh, I should tell you, we do have prizes for the finished object knit-along. And I, like I said, I do them for random number generator. And for 1 to 10 entries, I draw one number. For 11 through 20, I draw two numbers, and so on and so on. And the prizes you can choose from are a $10 gift card from KnitPicks, Amazon, Mindwear, Hobby Lobbies, or Michaels. Or you can get a giftable pattern or one leisure arts item up to $10. Okay? So then we have our cable knit-alongs and Alla Saenko. I hate that I don't know how to say her name. Alla Saenko is a beautiful designer on Ravelry. I've just come upon her in the last few months, and oh, lovely, lovely things. But you don't have to choose one of her designs. If you do, wonderful. But you can do a cable pattern, or you could do an Alla Saenko pattern. Whichever one you do, make sure to take a picture of it, post it in the right thread, and if there's a pattern name, which if there's Alla's, then yes, there will be, please post it, and I will draw the same way as I do for the for the finished object. But since this is a 2-month, I'd like to give a $15. So it would be a $15 gift card from Michaels, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, KnitPicks, Mindwear, or up to a $15 value items from Leisure Arts, plus an Alla Saenko pattern. So, and if there's anybody out there that would ever like to donate prizes, I would not say no. Hopefully it would get to me. I feel bad because Fiona sent me something special in November and it's never made it here, but she's in the UK and they've had major COVID issues, and the Postal Service, I'm sure they're probably saying, do we want to let these boxes through? They might carry some virus. And praise them for doing that. I just hate the thought of it being piled up in a box, in a pile of boxes, is sorting office with either the Royal Mail or with the United States Postal Service. Hopefully I'll get it one of these days. Maybe for next Christmas. Who knows? Maybe next November. So do take those things into consideration anyways. Okay, so that takes us through April. Beginning March 1st, we're going to do another where you could choose either or. Knitting Expat. She just started her latest sock club, and it's around the world, and she puts little narratives with it. It's so cool. So it could be Knitting Expat, or it can be lace knitting. So I'm looking forward to that. I like both those things. Okay. Oh, I didn't tell you my grandson's sweater. It's Dynamite Reward by Lori McMillan. And the yarn I'm using is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek and the pumpkin spice or the kale. And I didn't tell you the Ruana is named Weeping Beach by Elizabeth Beach. And it's just some of my Kool-Aid dyed yarn. I have not taken the snow dyed yarn that I've done yet and wound it up. I can't wait. It's just got little splotches, little bursts of color throughout. I'm going to use it to make a sweater for myself because. Okay, now, so you may wonder why I said it takes a lot. It would take a lot of effort to do this. Well, I think I might have mentioned last week that my sister had told me, and I heard from others, that about the third week of radiation, there are times during the day, and I describe it as running into the wall, hitting the wall. And just like that, I am exhausted. And it has hit me yesterday, and I'm amazed I'm able to do this, because between the migraine that I had this morning and being really, really tired right now, I'm surprised I'm able to do this, but, you know, hey. So that's why I said that. I'm just really tired right now. Radiation's going well, though, and I'll finish it on the 16th. Next Thursday, I get a massage with my... Oh, no, that's this week. That's tomorrow. No, yeah, tomorrow. So this morning, I had to keep telling my husband, is it Wednesday? Or else my husband, is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Is it Wednesday? It didn't feel like Wednesday. But I met with a dietitian today. Tomorrow, I get up. Oh, it's going to be a long day. I have my radiation. I meet with my doctors. I have a massage. And then, a few years back, I had my nerves burned in my lower back. They do grow back and everything, which that means that they're going to hurt again because nothing else has changed down, it's in my lumbar area. So, in addition to everything else, before you could have your nerves burned, they have to block and make sure they're going to get the right set of nerves. So I go in Thursday after my massage, after I'm going to be totally relaxed, I'm going to go in there and they're going to put a nerve block on both sides of my lumbar. And then I go back in 2 weeks and they'll say, so how was that? And that will determine if they need to burn or not, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Because that's the way my year's going. I'm actually moving forward with my shoulder after I get radiation done. Yeah. I thought 2020 was supposed to be bad. I actually did pretty well in 2020, but it's all caught up with me in 2021, although my cancer was diagnosed in 2020, but Okay. Oh, I don't know why I left that on there. Amazing Grace. Other than I go into every radiation session singing, this is Amazing Grace. Let's see, what else? Oh, I have restarted an old venture that I used to be on. And it's not knitting related at all. I used to be a teacher, an educator. I've taught 2nd grade, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now, there was 1 year where I taught 4th, 5th, and 6th all at the same time. That was not fun. My hat went off to those one-room school teachers. But then after I quit teaching, I found a place called tutor.com. It's a wonderful program. I believe there's a cost with it. I don't know how much it is. But children, adults even, because 2 of the topics I've tested, you have to take exams, I've tested on are teacher education practices, and there's another one. But as an educator, I can go in and I can pick what topics I would like to test on. Now, I love history. I had to go in and test twice on history, though, because the first set of questions just totally blew my mind. But the second one, I was able to, and they don't mind if you search online or whatever. And it was easier for me to find the answers on the second one. So, anyways, I have an interview with them tomorrow. No, Friday. Praise God for Friday, because I wouldn't be able to fit anything else in tomorrow. Yeah, so I have an interview, and then if everything works out, I will start tutoring 5 hours a week. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed it before. It would be difficult at times because being in Ohio, we're more of a laid back, well, most of us, we do have our hyper people. Everybody's teaching practices are different. So one teacher who might expect this kind of answer, if I direct the student in another kind of answer, the teacher would not be happy with the student or with me. So it's very important to guide them so they can figure out what it is their teacher wants them to know. Not allowed to give answers. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to going back to that. It's been a few years, but it will be good. And should be able to work it around visiting my daughter and grandchildren and, other activities like working at the church and things, volunteering at the church. Okay, this is the commercial part of my podcast. Let you know, Knit Picks, in addition to their bare yarn discount if you buy in bulk, and their sweater weather if you buy 10 or more skeins of certain yarns to make a sweater, they're having a green yarn sale. This goes through the 15th, in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And some of the yarns that they're having in this, up to 40% off of different varieties, but some of the yarns that they have are like Wool of the Andes, Swish DK, Palette, Swish Worsted, Dishy, Stroll, Cotton, so much more. And like I said, they're up to 40% off. And of course, they're all green or have green tints to them or whatever. So anyways, then Yarnspiration, which is also one of my people. They're having a clearance last chance shades in yarns by Red Heart, Burdett, Huron, and Patons, and more. Yeah, they had some pretty colors in there. Mindware has many Easter-related items on sale. Michael's is having 20% off regular priced items if you use the code 20 made by you. 20 made by you. All together, no spaces. So anyways, yeah, look those things up. If you have questions, just go to search for Naturally Kim's Knitting, and it will either take you to YouTube, Blogger, or WordPress. Look for Blogger. Yeah, that'd be the best place to get the links, and then go from there, and you can go shopping then. I'm sorry, it's an extra step, but it does help me out. So many of you have won prizes in the past, and I don't think you mind, because you guys are also very kind-hearted. Anyways, we have a neighbor who's working on their house, and this has made Ginger a little bit nervous. So, well, I better go check. Maybe. Oh, I see. Okay. My father-in-law's going outside, so she has to bark about that. Oh, Ronald, please leave that on. The light.
Oh, you want it on?
Thank you. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a great week, a wonderful week. All your craftiness, I hope, is successful. I'm sorry for yelling at my father-in-law. He was doing a good thing and turning off the light. But anyways, I hope you guys all have a great week. I hope all your craftiness is successful with no mistakes. But if you do make mistakes, I hope they're little ones. Easy to correct, I love you all. Big hugs. Take care. And God bless. And don't forget, if you like this, push the like button. Okay, thank you. I gotta find my mouse. Bye-bye.